Previously, on the Otherplace.
Are you gonna do the thing where I need to watch you, or are you gonna do the other thing?
Hey Mark, can we do that?
Oh, that. Yeah, sure.
If I do that, would it be easier to communicate?
Yes, it would.
Ooh. All right. He puffs up his big rabbit cheeks and blows through his teeth, and he starts playing in this kind of a dissonant, right? And he starts feeling like he wants to go into the other side. Wants to go where his ancestors are.
The notes from the lute echo back from some unknown distance, and little crystals of ice and frost begin to form around Rabberto's feet. And his breath plumes out in front of him, even though he's in this warm room. When Rabberto opens his eyes, the river stretches out on all sides.
Wow. It never seems to not amaze me every time I come here. And I start searching out where this guy is. Can I use my blood sacrifice down here?
I'm going to say that if you do, it's going to notify any other dead thing around here that you are here.
Oh, my character's reckless, though. And this guy's been bugging him all night.
Uh-huh.
Dang it. Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to have to upgrade. Yep, so 4 successes, 2 advantages, and a despair. You get the vaguest hint of a face on this black, liquid form that's in front of you, and its mouth turns up in a smile, and he says, "You don't know what you've done." And you see 2 rippling wakes heading towards you in this river. And they head towards you, and they head past you. And they head through that gate, following that string that you left.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
Talana Salas, she is a tall 3'1" standing warder, and she looks kind of like an otter, but stands upright. She's 21 years old. She has chestnut brown, soft fur, bright blue eyes, flowing hair. She's really naive. She's been raised in a community by the ocean, and they build houses and elaborate, immaculate houses for people. So she grew up doing that, but she was confined to the warder way of things. So she's set out to take an adventure and see the world for what it is, and she's naive and believes that everyone is good in the world.
So she finds herself this evening mixed up with a crew. How did she meet these guys?
Well, she was exploring the city, and she came across this room that looked kind of interesting. So she walked in and realized that there was these people, and they were talking about smuggling some things to these people, and she asked about it, and they were kind of surprised she got there. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we were trying to, stick it to the old man, the bad guys, and we want to help these good guys by smuggling these things in." And she's like, "Oh, I'm in. Let me help. I want to help these people. I want to be able to get these good things, these products to these good guys, and we can help fight this bad, oppressive bad guys." And she's just been exploring, and she just thought, why not help out? So she kind of got mixed in with these people because she thinks that she is helping the greater good.
Mm-hmm. It is nighttime, and Talana and a motley crew of humans and other species have just pulled up to the back of this sort of barn kind of thing. The city of Gilder is a city built on many rivers right on the coast, and the back of this warehouse barn kind of thing has a place for boats to pull in. So she starts helping load some stuff onto this boat, and this sort of rundown barn it's quiet. This part of the city is quiet. It's the southern edge of the city, which I don't think we gave a name last time, but that's okay. And on the horizon, there is a bright green glow from a little bit further south towards the water.
Oh,
Totally natural. Yeah, totally natural.
looks really
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, about 100 feet away, in a separate room, a fish person and a rabbit person, a Seekith and a Kanara, stand in this room. Around the Kanara's feet, frost has sort of bloomed out from where he's standing. We can see his breath in the air, even though it's warm in here. There's a fire going, and the Seekith watches as two dark forms raise from puddles right next to this Kanara. And I'm going to need the first roll of the game to be a fear check.
Oh.
That's why you bought discipline.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly why I bought that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally knew it was going to happen.
So it's going to be hard difficulty. It's going to be 3.
Oh, delightful. Okay, 3. Well, at least I've got 1 rank in it, and I've got 2, so that's a yellow and 2 green versus 3 purple. Let's see. Make sure I don't have any special abilities. Let me help with this. Nope, nothing's going to help with that right now. Okay, here we go.
And success.
2 successes and advantage.
All right, so these 2 things start raising from these puddles. They look almost human, like maybe they were human at one point in time, and they're just like dripping blackness down onto the ground. Meanwhile, our Kanara, Rabberto, stands in the river mouth in just a foot or so of water, the gray mists ringing the area, while a dead spirit stands in front of him. He just saw 2 wakes move towards him and past him and back through to the other side into life. What is Rabberto going to do here?
Rabberto has his lute in one hand, a leash in the other, that's tied to Hans, a dead person, a dead ghost. First, he's going to let out a sigh and goes and looks at Hans and looks at what just left. Look at Hans, look at what's left, and look at Hans and go, Hans, what exactly were those? Are those what I think they are?
And Hans cackles. Your friends are in trouble now.
Well, Hans, you got some good news and bad news. Which do you want? Make it quick.
Hans does not make it quick.
Oh, Hans. Hey, I am a charming rabbit, folk. And I'm going to go, hey, Hans, look, I got a couple questions for you real quick. How bad are those ones compared to some of the other ones? And he scratches his head.
Pretty bad.
Oh, I was hoping you weren't going to say that. Well, all right, so here's the good news. The good news is I got to go. The bad news, Hans, is you're still stuck here, buddy. Sorry.
You're going back to the other side?
Yeah, I'm going to start following my I'm going to unlasso. Oh, I shouldn't do that, but I'm going to do it anyways because I already said it. I'm going to unlasso my leash that I used on him, and I'm going to start following my loot cord, so to speak, back to my exit point.
Okay. What Tekoa does Rabberto open his eyes to?
Well, he opens his eyes and his ears to Rab, you need to wake up. We need to wake up. Hurry up. He's like, he's going after one immediately, just not even waiting for these things to get all evil and big and huge and massive, and he's going after one immediately, just whichever one came first, he's jumping on that thing, trying to pin it down and stab it.
Stab it.
While yelling at Rab to wake up.
Yeah. And you had an advantage on your fear check. Do you have an idea for it?
Advantage on the fear check. I would say that gives me a boost to it gives a boost to either Rab coming out of things, or gives me a boost to my attack. Whoever's first.
Let's add a boost to the initiative that we're going to roll here.
Oh, even better. Okay. So, in this initiative, do you want us to do vigilance, or do you want us to do cool?
I think since you passed the fear check, you can do cool. I would say that Rab can also do cool, and
okay.
Talana will do vigilance.
Okay, and the boost will go to who? Rab or me on our check?
You.
Okay, guess what? I have no ranks in cool.
You're not alone. I only got 2 green.
Whoa. Well, too bad all 4 advantages don't do anything.
Hey, Mark, as I'm leaving, can I do like a knowledge check of like how bad these things really are?
Yes.
A 3 for advantages.
Okay. Now we get to describe what Rab sees, because I assume that the person in the room who can take the action right now should probably take the first turn, which would be Tekoa.
Okay, so obviously I'm going to attack. I already declared that. That's what I'll do. You'll see him quick draw, basically just immediately grab his trident, bring it to bear, and rush it. First blob creature thingy that's coming down the way. I want to declare just a declaration of intent. I'm using one of my talents called rename to Coral Ray Training, which is first time in the encounter that you draw a melee weapon, increase that weapon's damage by 2 for the remainder of this turn.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to attack with it. And I believe it's silver tip, so it's
so you get a boost.
Nasty for
Yeah.
Okay.
We
And
just
I
keep it simple with boosts.
Okay, that works. I will double aim, just so that I've got that covered as well.
Okay.
So that's 2. That makes that 3 boosts. Yellow. Difficulty is 2 purple unless you're flipping.
Yep, that's right. Not flipping.
All right. 2 successes, 2 advantages.
All right. What are you doing to them? And what does it look like?
All right. So he's just lunging at the first one there. He pulls out the weapon, gets it in both hands, rushes at the first thing, and then kind of leap, jump, stabs it. That way it can't get a chance to dodge out of the way. So that's what he's doing with that first one there. He's ignoring the second one right off the bat, just going for that.
What sort of damage you doing?
Okay, so that's +3 plus the 2 from the special talent. So that's +5 to a brawn of 3. So that's 8 damage. And then it's not enough to crit because he only got 2 advantages, but he does have a pierce of 3 on this weapon.
Okay. All right. And did you say anything while you did that?
Other than, Rab, you need to wake up! Wake up, Rab! Die, you undead piece of trash! Stabs it. So he's yelling at the top of his lungs.
And he's yelling at the top of his lungs, and
Of course.
there are other people in this building.
Of course there are.
And Branson is not in the room yet. I think a person like Branson would not have left the 2 of you in this room with the door closed.
Okay.
So he definitely hears you yelling, and he comes running. Well, what's going on here? What?
We've got a little bit of a problem.
And he has to roll a discipline check.
I almost want to call these things undread because we keep having to roll fear checks.
Okay.
Oh,
He's not
okay.
scared.
Wow.
Branson sees Tekoa fighting with this thing, this like just black essence, and he says, "Not again!" And he draws his sword, and he runs at it and yells for his people. Boys,
Nice.
we've got a problem.
If he's about to attack, I'll give him my 2 boosts, or to my 2 advantages for 2 boosts.
Okay, and I forgot that
The
these
way
things
I'm-
do have defense. Wow, that's a lot of advantages.
Wow.
Okay, so he runs in with his sword, and he sees that Tekoa is handling one of them, and moves towards the other one, and he swings its sword right at its middle, and his sword just sort of passes right through the essence, and it reforms on the other side.
Oh.
And I think this thing will take some strain, and then he's gonna... What can he do with those advantages?
That's a lot.
It's a lot of advantages.
They don't really knock prone. 3 of them wouldn't help him knock somebody prone, but I don't know how that would work in this situation.
Yeah.
He could throw me.
Let's see. Okay,
somewhere.
so... Yeah. I think what happened is that this thing recoils from his attack. Since his blade is iron, it is steel, and a good hit would do damage. It recoils and sort of gathers itself on the floor. It is effectively knocked prone. All right, and we
Okay,
are
so that's 3 of
around
of the 8.
whichever person. Well, I'm using a few more to give it some strain.
Okay. I like it.
AJ can go
And,
next since he's closer.
And in that case, AJ, with whatever you do, you could potentially have a booster too.
Okay. How about if I'm coming to, I'm going to see what's going on. And yes, right. All right. So with the picture that's painted, I'm seated in a chair. Ice is everywhere. I come to, I got a sword on one side of me slicing through some ichor, how would we describe, how did we describe these guys again? Like a mass of smoke like that?
It's more liquid than anything. It's like the essence of something that's been dead for a long time. You want to do that lore check to see if you know some things about
so
them?
like a slime in a sense?
Oh, that'd be great.
It's kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do an average lore check. 2 purples. Or forbidden.
Yeah. Well, I can do both. So, let's see. So forbidden is yellow, green, green. And I got a couple boosts for this.
Yep. We can say the
Versus 2
boosts
purple.
are from our 2 people fighting these creatures have put them in the prime position for Rab to get a good look at them when he enters life.
All right, forbidden knowledge. Here we go.
3 advantages.
Well, they look menacing.
That's really good. Keep hitting with that iron. That's really good. That's really good.
Keep it.
Some general knowledge about undead things. Something that comes straight out of death will probably be looking for something to live in, because we're not really to live in, but to inhabit, because their essence itself can't really sustain without sort of feeding off of something else.
Ha, joke's on them. I already have something feeding off of me.
Oh yeah.
Any ideas for those 3 advantages other than that? 3 little tidbits of knowledge you may know?
3 tidbits of knowledge I may know. How about, can more than one entity be held within that container that Hans the ghost is in?
Not without opening it up. And that's a whole different set of problems.
If you want to end the game quickly, open the jar.
Just let Hans out. Okay, so how about, do you guys have any questions that you guys want to know?
Can they both inhabit one being, or they have to inhabit their own shell?
I think it is possible that they could inhabit one being.
Oh, great.
It would not go very well for the person that they are inhabiting, because it would be it'd be very weird. They're more likely, much more likely to try and inhabit something that is already empty.
Okay.
Something dead.
So that's why they're trying to kill us, and that way they can have us. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So they can possess and inhabit more than one person at a time, and
What hurts them in this form the best? Maybe, or is that too much?
yeah.
That would work. I mean, you are doing it.
Okay.
Iron, silver, steel, salt, running water.
I need a like a possession kit, like a ghost hunting kit or something. All right, so I can do that. That takes my action, right?
It's just a knowledge check that can be separate. That's an incidental.
Okay. How about do we have established spells that will hinder movement or make them more vulnerable, like lowering defenses?
Not really. The only thing that we've established that actually has sort of a name is the battle sun, which is just like a little a glowing, very, very bright sun. But you can come up with whatever.
Oh man, I almost got like this like entrancing layer. I start playing and it starts wrapping cords around them and sucking off their life force or their essence. You
Okay.
know?
That's simple. You just do an attack spell and we narrate it that way.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I want to do that. That sounds cool.
Okay. Additional effect. It sounds like maybe you want to try and sort of bind them in place.
That would be sweet. I think I want to do that.
Okay.
So that would be sucking life force. Would that be? You can't really enervate the undead, can you?
What if it's making them harder, like more like a solid object as opposed to a liquidy mass type thing?
Oh, using their like freezing them in place.
Kind of, yeah, like just hardening them, so that they're harder to move.
Yeah, we're basically just adding the ensnare quality to it.
Yes.
Yeah, which weirdly enough is not something on the list of things to add to magical attacks.
Huh.
But we'll add it. We'll do it anyway.
Well, it would make sense for him. He is arcane and divine qualified.
Yeah. Oh, it's they call it ice, but we'll just add ensnare. So it just adds a difficulty. So it's an average attack using your whichever magic skill you'd like.
I will use arcane since it is better.
All right. So with arcane, you are probably singing a song to go along with it.
I will be.
And we know you like to come up with music on the fly.
I have to. I love to do it. Gosh, all that can come to my mind is freeze frame. Dun 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 dun. Freeze frame.
So you snap out of death and have your instrument ready because you had it ready when you were going in, and you just start playing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I know it's going to be a bad thing already coming out of it, but I want to, and I'm already bleeding a little bit. I want to rip that sucker open and do more of my blood sacrifice to give an extra. What do I get? I get something extra.
You get a success.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to do that. So this is my freeze frame attack. Believe it. All right. Yellow, yellow, green, purple, purple. Going.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Failure.
But I do have
Sadness.
a success from the...
Still a failure.
Yeah. That's not cool.
Wait, no, we passed on boosts with Branson's attack. Roll another boost.
Okay.
Just to see. Yes!
See? Woo! All right, so you have a success and 5 advantages. It's a nice amount of advantages. You used Arcana, correct?
Correct.
So what's your intellect?
My intellect is 3.
So that's 4 damage, and definitely enough advantage to trigger ensnare. What would you like to do with your remaining advantages?
Oh man, what else can I do?
And which one were you attacking? The one that Tekoa was dealing with, or the one that Branson's dealing with? That's sort of like molten on the floor.
I'm going to have to go with what Tekoa's going with because he's my homeboy first, and Branson is just going to give us a job. And I could do without Branson, but I can't do it without Tekoa.
Aw. I didn't know it was loved. I appreciate that.
Well, I can only do 4 damage to this thing. Could I bump up the damage?
Not with advantages, and actually with 4 damage, that is this one down. What does it look like when your music kills this creature again? Re-kills.
Again. When it double dies?
Yeah.
I got this idea where I come out, Rabberto stands up in his chair, spins on the ice that's already on the horror frost that's all over the ground, and looks at Tekoa, and he goes, freeze frame, chung! And like ice crystals just form over the undead creature, and Tekoa like twists his trident in it, and it just shatters.
Ooh, I
all
like
over
that.
the ground.
Mm-hmm. And then whatever pieces fall on the ground just sort of melt away into the ground, into nothing.
Sweet!
That's awesome. How many advantages do we got left now?
Well, I mean, you didn't actually have to ensnare it, so 5.
5 advantages.
Yeah.
Can I have that blow into... Can I transfer that ensnare into the other guy?
The other one? It's a traveling ensnare?
I don't think so. No.
If I flip a light side point?
Save those light side points.
Okay. Let's see. Well, that's 5. What can I... How about...
Anything environmental? Any...
Well, that just cost me 2 strain to cast that, and a wound. So let's go.
Yeah, you've taken back. Probably a lot of strain, so you could regain some.
That would. How about I just regain all the strain that I'm down? I'm down 5 now. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
that's all 5.
Okay, I got a question though. With this success, am I sucking his undead life essence to heal myself?
Do you want to do that?
I think it's a necromancer thing to do, isn't it?
It is. It's a very necromancer thing to do. How necromancer are you?
Would the Fellowship do it?
Would the Fellowship use the dead to heal themselves? No.
Okay, and the necromancer, yeah, and I'm not really... Gosh, I really want to do it. He's pretty reckless.
He is.
And he's gonna take that 5 strain and put it back into from that creature.
Okay. So as its icy chunks fall to the floor, some of them begin to melt and dissipate into the earth, and others move towards Rabberto and sort of make their way up his body and soak into his skin.
Can it be like the whammy bar, where you just hold that note, whoa, and it just kind of draws it in?
You have a lute with a whammy bar. Sure.
Yes. Remember, I did call this one the Shredder, so,
It is the Shredder, yep.
And the Shredder is known for its whammy bar.
All right. Meanwhile, in the large open space of this warehouse, Talana, along with a group of smugglers, hears Branson say, "Not this time," and draw his sword. And Branson's guys start running towards this room. What does Talana do?
So I see them running past the doorway.
Yeah, they're running towards a room. So this is sort of a big open warehouse with a little office near the opposite side to where you are right now. There's a big back, almost like a pair of big barn doors that are open up onto this canal where the smugglers have loaded up their boat. And everybody who is working for the guy that you are doing the job for right now is running towards this small room on the opposite side.
Okay, then I'm gonna go see what's going on with this room. Why is he brandishing a sword and running? I'm going to run towards too, because apparently they need my axe.
Right. So you draw your axe and you run towards this room, and inside you see a person that looks like a fish and a person that looks like a rabbit, along with the people that you are doing this job for. And as you run in, you see the rabbit cast some sort of magic from his lute, which freezes this thing, and the fish person stabs their trident into it and twists, and it cracks and breaks and falls to the ground. And there seems to be another thing like it on the ground.
It needs a great axe through it.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so yeah.
I'm going to go towards it, and I'm going to take my great axe, and I'm just going to chop it.
All right. So I do want you to take 2 strain for second maneuver, since you moved across this space and you drew your axe, and you can roll a melee check against it.
A melee?
It's going to be 2 purples and a black, a setback.
Okay, so my melee is 2 yellows, a green, 2 purples, and a black.
Yep.
Ooh.
2 successes.
And 2 advantages.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, my axe does have Pierce, and it does have...
Pierce, 2 vicious. Okay. All right, so 2 advantages is not enough to do a critical on this thing, but your Pierce 2 will come into effect here. So you've done 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Wow. Pierce 2.
Yay.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Die, thing!
Is that what you scream?
Yes. Die, thing!
Technically, it's already undead.
Oh. Die again!
All right, so that did it. What did you do? What did that look like?
So I come charging in. I have this great axe, so I use both my hands and I take it over my head and I just chop it down, screaming die thing. And as it smashes into it, it's gonna cut, and you're gonna see the blade because it's gonna probably go through it. It's gonna bounce off and make sparks on the ground because I'm assuming it's a little sparky.
Yep, it sparks on the stone ground, and whatever this thing is, it just sort of splatters all the corners of the room. And it gets on Tekoa and Rab and everybody else a little bit, but it quickly evaporates into nothing.
What is that?
I'd say it's dead.
Well, yes.
Good job, little one. I mean, person.
Talana. Nice to meet you. Are we killing these things?
We did? They're dead? Wait, is there any more? No, there's no more.
Oh. Where'd they come from?
Okay?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Is everybody okay? Did it get anybody?
No, I'm good.
You good, Branson? Tekoa?
Branson's good. His guys didn't even get a shot in.
They're like peeking out the door, at the doorway, looking in.
I was going to say, Rab it turns to the desk and looks at Hans in the face and say, liar, they weren't that bad.
And the ghastly expression on the skull's face, this liquid that it's surrounding itself with, changes to give you big googling eyes and a smile.
That's right, Hans. That's right. Remember that.
Who's Hans?
Yeah, who's Hans?
Oh, well, so we asked permission to go talk to your ghost, right? And so I went and talked to the ghost and interrogated him a little bit. Yeah. And this is Hans, Branson, Hans, Tekoa, Hans, Tekoa.
Yes. I don't care about
everybody. I'm Branson. I own this place, and I'd like to ask a couple questions here.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir.
I didn't quite expect that to happen. What exactly did you just do? Why are these things here, and will there be more of them?
He's got a very good point. I didn't expect that to happen either.
Well, those are undead things from the other side.
I got that much. Yep.
They came. Yep. They came out. It happens from time to time when you like go over. Sometimes things happen. This was just a little thing that happened. Obviously, it wasn't that big of a deal. But I did get a little bit of information, like I told you I would. See, we always come through. We always come through.
I was just delivering packages, and I heard you come streaming, so I figured you needed help.
Now, when you say go over, what exactly are you saying?
Oh, well, I went and talked to Hans face to face, visage to visage, and I played a little music, and I went and talked to him a little bit, and turns out there were some things in the river that just decided to hop out. Yeah, no big deal.
In the river?
Yeah, in the river.
Like creatures? Like sea creatures? I have dealt with my share of sea creatures. I can kill them.
I can tell.
Tekoa takes a big step away from her.
Rab motions back a little bit.
Branson and his group of people are also taking a few steps back, and Branson had sheathed his sword, but he has a hand on it now. Are you saying you're a necromancer?
Me? No. I just live by the ocean, and I've killed some sea creatures that try to attack us.
He unsheaths his sword, points it at Rab. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, my bad.
Are you a necromancer?
Not exactly.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Otherplace. The Otherplace is a production of Nightcast Creative. For more info about us and our other projects, visit nightcastcreative.com. Loving the show and want more? Join us and other fans on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and Patreon. Check our show notes for the links, and be sure to give us a shiny 5-star rating wherever you find your podcasts.